Hello, welcome back to my office, where I record the majority of my videos. As you can see by the open Amazon page, I'm waiting for a delivery. What better time than waiting for something to do something else? So, have you ever seen one of those resin set tables or like tabletops or clock face kind of thing with things in there, artifacts, or one I recently saw was a clock face filled with various circuit boards, electrical components. It just looked really cool. That gave me an idea. I want to make something almost exactly like that. Maybe not a clock face, but like a coffee table. You know, a little conversation piece to have in the office. So one question I had for myself was, where do I find that much scrap electronics and circuit boards and stuff? And then I figured, well, actually, I've been throwing this stuff away for years, and I recently made the, I suppose, change to actually start keeping stuff that would normally be thrown away for recycling. So this is my little box currently with various circuit boards and bits in there. I'm hoping to have this basically filled up because that would give a nice tight layout on a table. I tend to get lumbered a lot with electronic components and equipment that need disposing of. Sometimes just little things like this, an old aerial amplifier, which, I mean, there's a little circuit board in there, be a nice little filler piece, so we'll open this up. Other things include stuff like this, old Sky HD boxes. Now, there's about 2 or 3 circuit boards in here, which is good because it means it's more for my pile, more for my collection. The other good thing about these shiny Sky HD boxes is that they have 2 terabyte hard drives in them, which somewhere it does actually say on here that this is a 2 terabyte model. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Oh yeah, there it is, 2 terabytes. Now those hard drives are perfectly reusable once you format them. Let's go ahead and open this up, open up that little amplifier, see what else we can add to my collection of circuit boards. So let's start with this 2-way distribution amplifier. Now we can see this has a few lever holes, hot plugs. Okay, that's cool. Now obviously this is fully enclosed in metal to reduce any interference, seeing as this is an RF product. So there we go, that's the top. Don't need this. There's the circuit board. Okay, so as you can see, all of the ground planes are actually soldered to this outer casing, which is fine, because the majority part of it's still visible. And looking through the little gaps here, the other side of the circuit board doesn't actually have much on it, so the majority of what's going on is on this top face. Bottom face, I can see 1, 2, 3 jumper cables and a couple of connection like binding points. So this, I wonder if these come off. No, they're solid. So that will do. This can go as it is there into the collection. See, I've got some other RF bits here as well. These two are together, again soldered all the way around there. They still make nice little party pieces. These parts goes to regular plastic recycling. I'm not sure if this is steel or aluminium. Either way, that can be recycled. No problem with that. So let's set that aside. Let's get going on the skybox. I'll time lapse this first part because these things are a pain to take apart. This top shouldn't be this much of a problem to come off, but I always forget how to separate these 2 parts. One screw. Oh, there we have an assembly date by Peerless, September 2015. As you can see already, we've got 2 circuit boards here, another circuit board here, main one that can be seen in there, and there's another one lower down as well. Disassemble the front first. Now obviously a thing to note is I'm not being overly gentle or careful with any of this, because there's no intention of any of this being used again. This is purely disassemble by any means necessary. Board number 1 with a load of buttons. I'm sure you can probably repurpose this as some sort of a control pad or something else. I should run some tests and see which pins correspond to buttons on here. Although some of them are running through resistors though. If those are like pull down and pull up resistors, it's easy enough to just sever those connections and just have them as shear switches, because it would be quite nice to then 3D print something to sit on top. Then you have a little control box. Food for thought. So I'm going to put that one side. Here we have another little possible use case for a control panel. 6 buttons. Yeah, so I'm going to separate it like that, keep that one side, test those pins later, see what they do. Another circuit board, probably looks nicer that way up. Classic green PCB colour. You can see many years of airflow and dust collection on there. Now another useful thing in here are these 40mm fans, because they just have a fairly generic 2-pin header attached to them. They are very easy to reuse on computers, small electronic projects, or 3D printers. Other useful components include this Molex to SATA power cables. These are exactly the same as what you find inside a PC, so if you have a shortage of them and you happen to have an oversupply of skyboxes, there you go. Same with the SATA cable itself. This is a standard SATA cable. I think it's a 3 gigabit per second cable, so don't expect to use the latest and greatest SSDs with them. Again, if you have a shortage of SATA cables and you have a surplus of skyboxes, there's a supply of SATA cables, and then these fairly generic USB headers or USB cable. So this is a standard USB extension cable, although this one's got a bit of heat damage. Very similar to what you'd find on a front panel USB connector on a PC. And then you have this lovely heatsink. I'm surprised to see a brown heatsink. Normally the heat sinks and skyboxes are black. This copper tone one is very different. I've not seen one like this before. That's quite nice. I like that colour. Again, heat sinks useful for more projects where you do need a lot of cooling. I know these give off a ton of heat, so they are fairly efficient. Something worth keeping. Oh yeah, this fan can come out. There's just a standard 12-volt fan. Now the first circuit board. Tiny little screw there. There it is, first big board from the Skybox. A lot going on there, nice. Seagate 2000 gigabyte drive. It says it's specifically for video, which is interesting. Not seen that printed on one of these hard drives so far. And there we go. Power supply and video output section, well, at least the RF, the analog side of video output, whereas the main board deals with all the digitals, all the modern video gubbins. Only downside to this, all these RCA connectors, is that they stand quite tall, so I might have to desolder that, and this header connector as well, that's overkill. That might have to come off, along with this transformer. Don't really need that. Could do with it all being sort of this height or lower. There's another one for the pile, another one in the collection. All these metal bits can stay together, and this can go back on. Well, there we have it. One of my current projects, just collecting electronics, circuit boards, seeing what I can make of stuff like this. And when I've got enough in my box, when this collection is full, I'm going to, like I said, make a table, just a small square table, you know, like 20 inch by 20 inch tabletop, nothing major. Fingers crossed it won't be too long before I get to do that. Until then, that's been me taking things apart, and see you next time. Have a great day.